So it's that time again. Let's jump right into my monthly favorites. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Bex, a Canadian graphic designer, baker, and avid gamer. And on this channel, we look at different ways of simplifying our life and chasing after our dreams. In today's video, we are going to be looking at our monthly favorites for May. So in our monthly favorite series, we look at 4 different categories: a physical item, a book, a podcast, and an app, whether it's a computer app, phone app, or whatever kind of app that we're using at the time. And so let's just get right on into it. So first up is a physical item. This particular item has made a tremendous impact on the amount of water I drink. I am notoriously terrible at drinking enough water, and they say you should have 8-ounce glasses a day at least. I don't do that. I have coffee, and more coffee. So water has always been a struggle, but thankfully I found this really awesome half-gallon water bottle. And the really nice thing about this water bottle is that it holds enough liquid for the entire day's consumption. So basically I need to fill a water bottle up in the morning and empty it by the end of the night, and that's all the water that I've needed to drink for a day. So this has been really helpful for me because it's a very visual cue of if I'm drinking enough water or not. The bottle itself has tick marks along starting at 7 a.m. all the way down until 9 p.m. so every 2 hours, and you can see where your water level is compared to the time of day. And this visual cue has made a huge impact in actually making sure that I get the water that I need in my body every day. This water bottle is another one of the things that I've implemented in my life to really simplify some day-to-day decision making and worrying and thought processes that we have. So I don't need to remember how much water I'm drinking each day. I don't need to track it. I don't need to keep filling up water glasses. I literally just need to fill one bottle in the morning and make sure I finish it by the end of the day. I'll leave a link in the description for this bottle. It's amazing. There's a bunch of different colors. You can get it on Amazon. All right, so our second category is books. This month, I've been reading a book called Playing Big by Mohr. And this book was actually recommended to me by a colleague, and it's been really, really excellent. I'm about halfway through this book. It's one of these books where you read a chapter and there's journaling prompts at the end of it, which is really, really great. It helps you really absorb the information and process it and apply it to your life. So I really like that. However, I find these books do take me a little bit longer to read. So Playing Big is a book for women about how to step into the bright futures that we have. I know for me, I tend to very much so get into the self-doubt, play small, be safe mindset. And this book is basically teaching you how to get rid of that whole mentality and step into the future that is yours, really. I recently started a newsletter called Bex Banters, and our first issue is all about my experience with this book when it was recommended to me. So I highly recommend going to give that a read and subscribe to the newsletter if you want. It's going to be a weekly newsletter of the best bits of my coffee-fueled brain. This book has been instrumental in actually getting me to start, and I think I've had the most productive weekend probably of my entire life this past weekend, and I would credit a lot of it to this book and just feeling confident enough to chase my dreams. In this little snippet from the introduction, it says, "Playing Big is about bridging the gap between what we see in you and what you know about yourself. It's a practical guide to moving past self-doubt and creating what you most want to create, whether in your career, in your community, or in a passion you pursue outside of work. It's not about the old school notion of playing big, more money, more prestigious title, a bigger empire, or fame. It's about you living with a sense of greater freedom to express your voice and pursue your aspirations." This book has been amazing. I highly recommend it to any woman out there who is struggling to kind of step into your future or chase your dreams, or you're just feeling not good enough. This book is the cheerleader you need. Super grateful to my colleague for recommending it to me. It's been so great. And yeah, check out Bex Banters in the description below. All right, the third category that we talk about each month is podcasts. We Can Do Hard Things is a podcast hosted by Glennon Doyle, who's the author of Untamed, which is also a really amazing book if you haven't read it, and her sister. And I personally love this. My sister is my favorite human in the world. She is my other half, and I just adore her to pieces. And I get such comforting vibes listening to this podcast because it literally sounds like me and my sister bantering back and forth as well. So really heartwarming there. The episode I want to focus on is episode 2, called Boundaries Are Too Few or Too Many, Why We Stay Stuck. Now, this podcast shook me. I struggle with boundaries. I'm so terrible at them. I have been told by many people for years that I really need to implement some boundaries into my life, but it is so hard for me. I love my people. It's so much easier for me to care about everybody else in my life instead of spend the time working on myself or paying attention to where I might be struggling. It's just in me. It's who I am. Basically, I'm cursed to have no boundaries. But obviously that is not a productive way to live. So I've been on this adventure to try to implement some boundaries into my life. And this episode, whew, it got me. There was a section where they talk about going into a restaurant and being so nervous about everybody else and all the other things that are happening that you forget that you're even sitting there eating dinner with a group of people. I used to go for dinner with a big group of friends back in Ontario, and there would be like 10, 12 of us, and all I could do the entire meal was stress about how people were treating our waitress and whether or not our waitress was stressed out or if we were making her job too hard. And I hated these meals. It was terrible. I had no fun going for dinner. But the interesting thing in this podcast is it basically called me out and was like, your responsibility is not everybody else's experience in these moments. It's your experience. It's how you treat people and how you experience the situation. And so by having no boundaries in terms of other people's experiences, their experiences were becoming my own instead of me truly living mine. And there's other ways this play out. Golfing, for example. I love to go golfing, but if someone's behind us and they've caught up to us on the hole, all I can think about is the fact that they're waiting behind us and it's the worst golf game ever. I'm just stressed out, but why? I have every right to sit there and play my golf game as well. There's no need to be stressed. And so this episode, if you struggle with boundaries, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It will blow your mind. My main takeaway from that podcast was that I need to implement this very simple boundary, but it's I am not responsible for the energy in the room. I'm not responsible to make sure everybody else in the restaurant's enjoying their dinner or everybody else is enjoying their golf game. I am responsible to make sure that I am having a great time and I'm treating my friends with respect and love and we're just out there having a good time. And yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's hard. It's a hard one. Ooh. We Can Do Hard Things, Glennon Doyle, favorite podcast right now. I even asked my sister if she wanted to start a podcast with me, but we haven't made any progress there yet. All right, so the fourth category is an app. Now, this month's app is actually the activity app on the iPhone. I recently got an Apple Watch purely based on the fact that a few of my friends had Apple Watches and they share their activity with each other. So throughout the day, they're getting notifications that someone finished an activity or someone closed all their rings, and it's really, really helped them get in shape. Now, I've been struggling since COVID, being at home for like a year and a half now. I was in the best shape of my life before COVID. Me and my partner had just gone to Dominican. We had went on this nice tropical vacation. I had the best bikini body, and then COVID happened and I was miserable and I never left my house and I ate a lot of ice cream. So it's been rough in terms of physical fitness, but this month, all that has changed since I got my Apple Watch. And also, I mean, it's probably not the Apple Watch, it's probably just the Apple Watch was the motivation for me to actually change my mindset and get some stuff done. You know, take that with a grain of salt. But the activity app on the iPhone, when you have an Apple Watch, you can share it with your friends, you can get notifications, and you can actually reply back with unicorns or funny little witty sayings, and it has been so helpful in terms of finding little bits of motivation to actually get active. Also, shout out to all my friends who share their activity with me and cheer me on. At one point, I got 3 notifications about finishing a workout, and it literally, I turned on my phone and my face just lit up because all of my friends were like, "You did it, girl," and I was like, "Yes." So yeah, that is my monthly favorites for the month of May. I'm super excited to be into a video routine. I'm so jazzed, so you can expect to see a whole bunch more from me. I'm hoping to post every Wednesday and Sunday, so hopefully we can keep that up. And yeah, if you're interested, check out my monthly favorites from April up here. Okay, have a good day, evening, night, wherever you guys are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.